Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Life According to Nikki. I don't know if it's fully necessary for me to tell you this information, but I don't know. I feel like I can tell that part of this episode was recorded at a different time, and right now, this portion is being recorded after. So, just in case there's any question about it, I'll just put it all out there. I recorded the first half of today's episode last week when I was sick, and then now I'm feeling much better, and I am completing the recording for the second half. So if you are able to tell an audio difference and it sounds, off, that's why. It was recorded at 2 different times. But I am genuinely excited to talk to you about the latest thing that I watched since the recording that I did last week. So we're just gonna start off with my latest watch and then we'll dive into my previous recording. So get ready! Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that! Today is just one of those days where I am genuinely so happy that I have a podcast because I need so many people to know how good Nobody Wants This on Netflix is. I need you to go watch this. I need us to talk about it. I need you to come up to me and tell me that you did watch it so we can discuss everything about it. I mean, I am so obsessed with it right now. It dropped on Friday. It's been on my watch list ever since the trailer came out. So I was ready. I go to click play, and Netflix pops up the little error saying that there's too many people on my Netflix account watching. I send a frantic text out to the fam, and I was like, who's got their butts on Netflix right now? Because I need one of you to get off. And of course, now we have this entire argument over the family group text of like, well, I'm watching this and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know. Instantly, I'm like, none of that has a higher priority than what I need to do right now. I need to watch this. You watching a repeated episode of The Blacklist or Lost, that's gonna hit the back burner. Like, this is a brand new series that just dropped. I need to watch it. Anyways, I had to wait a whole 4 hours, which for me was actual torture, before I could watch it, because I had to wait for somebody to hop off. It was so annoying. I literally was checking like every 20 minutes, and then finally I was like, you know what? I should maybe do something with my day. So I got some work done, and then I rewarded myself with Nobody Wants This. I started it at around 7 p.m. You don't need any of this information. I'm just going to give it to you anyways. Started at around 7, watched it for the full 5 hours. It's 10 episodes, 30-minute episodes. A perfect binge. Finished around, 12:30, 1 a.m. When it was done, I literally thought to myself, was that a 10 out of 10? No. I can't just be handing out a 10 out of 10 willy-nilly. But honestly, I loved it. I loved it. It was so freaking good, you guys. Let me break down what makes it so good, okay? I'm not committing to the 10 out of 10 ratings. I gotta watch something at least twice before I can confirm. Because watching just a solid binge, you're not able to really take the time, mull it over. I also enjoy watching something for a second time with other people to kind of gauge their reaction to it, and that can help form my opinion as well. But wow, did I love it. The plot is you have this Jewish rabbi who is played by the guy who plays Dave Rogowski in Gilmore Girls, who was Lane's boyfriend before she went to Zach, if you remember any of that. Just such a good, wholesome guy. And that's who he plays in this series, is basically the same character. Love him. Then you have Kristen Bell, who I am personally a huge fan of. I really enjoy her. Their chemistry together, oh, chef's kiss. It was so believable. I was actually convinced that they had a little something. Even though I know they don't, they're both married. But I don't know, that kiss? Yeah. Yes, please. More of that. I need more of that on my screen ASA freaking P. I I can't even tell you how much I loved it. What I love most about it is the relatability that I found with the main lead's character. I come from a very high demand religion that I love, that I feel very passionately about, that is a huge part of my life. It is my life. So seeing that depicted, even though it's a different religion, oh my gosh, I could relate to that so well. And then you have this dynamic between him and then Kristen Bell's character, who has this sex podcast with her sister, and she's kind of this wild child type of person, really bold and out there. And I felt like in some ways I really related to her personality type. So I just saw myself reflected in a lot of this series. Seeing the complications that they had trying to make this interfaith relationship work, oh, it was so well done. I genuinely felt like it was real. Everything from the way that they talked to each other, the funny moments, the awkward moments, everything about it felt really organic, like I was watching two people's story, that is down the street from me. It just felt very realistic. And that's my favorite type of feeling in a show. I almost love awkwardness, where it's not too good, it's not too disbelieving, it's just, yeah, this feels like an average person, and I get to see them navigate the world and whatever issues they may have. That's why my favorite movie ever is about time. And I've had some people tell me that they don't like that movie because of the reasons I just stated. It was too awkward. It felt too slow. And that's the reasons that I love it. That's everything that makes me enjoy it. So I felt those similar vibes with Nobody Wants This. And I'm telling you right now, everybody wants this. I'm going to be Miranda Priestley. Everybody wants this, Andrea. Go watch this series. Seriously, it's so good. Even if you're not religious, even if, a rom-com or whatever is not like typically your style, it's just so well made. It's a good, fun storyline. And I'm telling you, their chemistry was just, it was palpable. It was so good. Personal rating right now, not having watched it twice, only having the one binge to go off of, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10 on my personal scale. For public scale, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I genuinely think a lot of people are really going to like it. And just looking it up right now on IMDb, it has an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So it's doing real well. There are some things that, of course, I could critique, but right now I don't want to, because I want you to go watch it, and I want you to enjoy it, and above all, I want you to DM me and tell me what you thought about it so we can talk. And I really hope that there is a season 2 to this. The second it was over, I was like, I need more. Oh my goodness. All I can say is I hope that the newest movie that's going to be coming out with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, called We Live in Time, it's coming out October 10th. I will be flocking to whatever theater or streaming platform that has that. And it only has a 108-minute runtime. I love a short runtime. Just from the trailer alone, I was like, this is my type of movie. Please don't disappoint. I love these two actors. I'm just calling it right now that I'm going to love that movie. But for now, I'd like to just say thank you to Nobody Wants This for fulfilling all of my needs this week as far as TV goes. And now let's talk about the other things that I've watched. I've watched quite a few things in the last week or so. First up, I did finish Kevin Can F Himself, which I discussed on my episode with my brother, but at that moment in time, I still had 2 episodes left, and I now have a full review. I really enjoyed it. It was fascinating. It was different than a lot of things I've watched before. My brother was correct that it is similar to WandaVision in the filming of it. I had forgotten about WandaVision. So if you like WandaVision, then I think you'd really enjoy this. But I don't think this show is for everybody. It's just a little bit slower. It wasn't super captivating. Like, it didn't have me on the edge of my seat, but it kept me interested enough that I was like, yeah, I'll just continue it a little bit longer, and then It was only 2 seasons, so it wasn't that big of a time commitment for me, so I was willing to do it. And I really like the main actress, Annie Murphy. So I was in it for her, and I was in it for the woman that plays Patty, who was Mary in Bowden. She was phenomenal. I loved them together. I really liked seeing the main character's journey of realizing that she's in this abusive relationship, all of the things that she's lost by staying, and finding power within herself to not only leave, but to create a new life for herself and to go after things that she's passionate about. I just thought that that was such a great thing to be depicting. Overall, for myself, I'm going to give it a rating of 6 out of 10 on my scale. I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on the public. I just don't think it's for everybody. I don't think people would really love it. I don't think they would feel a lot of hatred towards it, which is why it's getting the indifferent 5, but I don't think it's one that I would recommend to anybody in the future unless I really knew that this style of writing and cinematography was for them. But unless you are a very specific person, I don't think Kevin Can F Himself should be at the top of your watch list. I think there's better shows that accommodate more people's likes than this one. But for myself, I enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot to say, Kevin Can F Himself is on Netflix and Prime. Next up, we have The Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. This came out in 2022. It's a movie on Netflix. It was entertaining. I had a good time. I watched it with a group of people. Not really my genre, but I watched it for my friend Ashley. Shout out to Ashley. She wanted to watch it, and I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time. But if I'm being so for real, I forgot I watched this movie until this second, looking at my watch list, being like, oh yeah, I did watch that movie. And I think that right there explains how I felt about it. It was extremely forgettable for me. I think it had some funny moments because Ryan Gosling does comedy so well, and I love his dry humor. I think his part in it was phenomenal. And I also did like that it was a focus on a little girl that he was saving instead of, like, you know, some pretty gorgeous woman that he was dating. I liked this more family-centered element to it. That was cute. But, you really have to just leave your disbelief at the door with a movie like this. I mean, the man's getting stabbed 18 times and still fighting, and someone's head goes through a window, but they're perfectly fine. And I'm just like, okay, all right, you know what? We're gonna leave the disbelief right back there. We're in this for a good time. I had to keep reminding myself of that because it's just so ridiculous to me. But, overall, it was entertaining. I think I'd be willing to watch it again if someone really liked it and really wanted to, and I would be willing to watch the second one that's apparently going to be coming out. I would watch it for funsies. I'm not paying to watch it, but I'll watch it if it's free. In a group, not by myself. That's the scenario in which I'm willing to enter into that space again. Somebody else is going to have to choose that, and I'll go along with it. Overall, my rating for it is going to be a 4.5 out of 10. I feel like at least 5 out of 10s I usually remember, but I didn't even remember this one, so sorry, it's gonna get a little bit lower for me. And then public, I'm gonna go 7. I take that back. I'm gonna do 6. I'm gonna do 6 for the public, because I watched it in a group and everyone had like a decent time. No one was overly excited about it, but it was good. It was good. Don't take my 4.5 as a bad rating. That's really just coming from the fact that I completely forgot I watched this and have no real feelings towards it. And for whatever reason, I'm not giving it a 5. I don't know. I'm just going to stick with my 4.5, all right? 4.5 for me, 6 for you. Moving on. Okay, I watched Theater Camp with Ben Platt in it. Oh my gosh. This movie was hysterical to me. I don't recommend it. Let me just start off. I don't recommend this movie, but yet I really enjoyed it. Will I be watching it again? No, I won't. But it was funny and so entertaining. Oh, I was so entertained by this movie. Honestly, just go watch the trailer for it. Go watch the trailer for theater camp, and that alone is funny enough. You don't necessarily need to watch the entire movie, but the trailer of them taking auditions and then them saying, like, she's using. You'll know what I mean when you watch it. That scene to me was so funny. And that's how the entire movie felt. It just felt so hilarious. And the editing of it, I was like, man, whoever edited this movie did a great job. But it's so niche and also wasn't quotable enough for me to feel like I could label it a cult classic. It gave me vibes of She's the Man, but without the quotability of She's the Man, which is why I'm like, I don't feel like I can fully recommend it, because it was more forgettable than something like She's the Man. Or I'm trying to think of another like funny movie, like Mean Girls or something like that. Those ones are a little less cheesy than this one. This one was extremely cheesy. But yeah, for what it was, just this plain, entertaining hour and a half with two of my friends that I knew would like this style of movie, it was perfect. Also, can we bring back 90-minute movies? Oh my gosh, can we stop with the 3 hours, the 2.5 hours? Just give me a solid 90 minutes and be done. That was probably what I liked most about it, was that it was just so short that I could enjoy it for what it was and then be done. For me, for the entertainment and for the subtle, very, very subtle humor that it had, and the editing style, the filming of it, I just thought it was very comical. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 on my own scale, purely for entertainment value. And on everybody else's, I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 10. I do not think a lot of people will like this movie. I don't even think theater kids would like this movie. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a theater kid. I never was. So maybe that's why I liked it, is because I thought it was very funny how they were like playing to these tropes or stereotypes or different things. But I think an actual theater kid might not enjoy this, because I don't think they were trying to be relatable. I think they were trying to poke fun at stereotypes that aren't fully accurate. Is that making any sense at all? Probably not. But, you know, if I'm not making sense, it's because I'm sick. Alright, that's gonna be my excuse this week. I'm sick. I can't think straight, and don't watch theater camp unless you watch the trailer and have a free 90 minutes and just want to make fun of it and just are there to watch something stupid, then yeah. I think just because this one feels so niche, it's hard for me to really gauge whether or not other people would like it. So that one's going to be a decision you're going to have to make on your own. I'm sure I didn't help you that much, but I'm just going to stick with the ratings I gave and tell the majority of people that this probably isn't the movie for you. Okay, next. Uglies. Oh boy. Uglies on Netflix. It has not gotten the raving reviews I'm sure they were hoping for. And I think that there's a few reasons for that. Number one, the dystopian era has passed. It is no longer fun and cool. I think if they would have come out with this movie back in, I don't know, 2012, it would have been so good, so hot. I think they actually could have produced this exact movie and just released it in 2012 and everyone would have loved it. But the fact that they're releasing it in 2024, like, they missed their window of success. And that's unfortunate because I'm sure they spent a lot of money on it. Here were my qualms with Uglies. Number one, I did read the books on this one, all right? So I knew what the plot was. If you are unfamiliar with the Uglies plot, let me just give you a real quick summary. You have this dystopian society after, war and all that, and we've destroyed the planet. And when you are 16 years old, you get a surgery to make you perfect. And you become pretty, and you can go live in the city. But of course, everything is not what it seems, and you have a 16-year-old protagonist, hero of the world, who is, tucks hair behind ear, not like other girls. And she has a boy best friend. Is this sounding familiar? Because it should. It was every dystopian novel of this time when this was coming out. Like, 2008 to 2014? Yeah. This was what was going on at that time, and we all ate it up like it was just fine dining. It was so good, and I'm not saying that that's bad because I ate it along with the rest of you. But I actually never hopped on the Uglies train. I read Uglies, and then I think I read half or maybe all of Pretties and gave up. I've been giving up since the beginning of time, all right? I gave up on the Matched series, what's it called? The Maze Runner series. Oh, give me 1 second. You know what? I'm actually going to just look up all of those dystopian novels, and we're going to go through all of the ones that I tried and gave up on. Okay, here we go. Here's a list. Hunger Games. Oh, I finished that. We saw that through. That was great. That was exactly what I needed it to be, and it is perfection. Matched, on the other hand, with the green bubble and the girl in the green dress. Killer cover. I remember loving it then, and I still like it now. Was so in it for the first book. Was kind of out of it for the second, and then was totally done by halfway through the third. And I just stopped halfway through that third book. I was like, nope, actually, I'm finished. This is so stupid. So I'm gonna peace out. Better luck next time. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, the Unwind series. Like, that one I only read the first one. I remember enjoying it, but not enough to start the second one when it finally came out. Because at the time that I read the first one, the next installment wasn't out. So, sorry, you lost my interest. It wasn't captivating enough to keep me hanging on. The Shatter Me series, gave up middle of book 2 on that one. The Legend series by Mary Lou. That one I did read all 3. And it was a no. I remember hating the ending of the third book. I don't even remember now what it was. I need to read back a summary, and then I'm sure it will spark something. But I do remember being upset and disappointed at the ending of the third book. The Divergent series, don't even get me freaking started. We all know my feelings on that. No, absolutely not. Red Queen, read the first one, gave up 1/3 into the second one. What else we got here? The Cinder series, I was done after book 1 on that. Book 1 of the Cinder series, I was like, this is a little too sci-fi for me. I tried, I think the next one was Scarlet or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got 2 chapters in before I was like, this isn't me. I can't be this girl. I tried it with Cinder, hated it the whole time. What am I doing here? I am being so fake right now, just reading this book to please my peers and pretend like I'm in on this like inside trend. I'm not that girl. And so I said, enough is enough. I'm tired of being someone I'm not. I can't do the sci-fi, okay? I can't. And I moved on to, bigger and better things for myself. Oh, the Maze Runner. Oh, the Maze Runner. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. So, loved the first one. Second one, once again, so stupid. Didn't even make it to the third. I think maybe I skimmed the third one or read a summary. That sounds like me. But yeah, no, couldn't make it through that one. And the movies? Are we freaking kidding with those? The first one was all right. I'll give it to the first one. But the second and the third one, you couldn't pay me to watch those again. No, those were horribly made. Those can go in the same camp as the Divergent movies. Just absolute embarrassments. I genuinely think about this all the time. What it would be like to be an actor in one of these movies. Like, do you think they know while it's being filmed how crappy it's gonna be in its final cut? Like, they've gotta know. They've gotta just read that script and be like, this isn't good. And then they get there on set and they're seeing everybody's acting and they're seeing their own. They've gotta know in their heart it's not good. I kind of wonder if the cast of Uglies felt that way. If the whole time they were like, oh, okay, well, we already got paid and we signed contracts, so we have to be here. But doing the publicity and stuff for it, that's gotta be miserable. Knowing that you're promoting a movie that sucks. Ugh, yikes. I wouldn't want that job, that's for sure. I'm just looking at this list of all these books. Ooh, the selection series, love. Love, 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 love. That one committed not only through the first 3, but the 2-book extension and the novella series, absolutely. Here for all of that. Recently reread them, actually. Yes, all day to the selection series. Now, although I did not do the Twilight series, I did read The Host. Now, I know that's not a series, and that's kind of what we're talking about right now, but I do need it stated that that is on this list of, like, the dystopian novels, and I enjoyed The Host. And I really liked the movie. I don't like it as much now, but as a teenager, that movie gave me everything I needed. The 2 love interests, both being hot. Saoirse Ronan. I love Saoirse Ronan, the actress. Yeah, love her. Loved The Host. Absolutely. I was here for that all day. Okay, the last one I'm going to mention, this one I didn't read when I was young. I actually read it as an adult because I feel like it came out more recently. It's called The Grace Year. Now, this has an incredible cover. I think it is gorgeous. It is one of the worst books I've ever read. It had me for 2/3 of the way. I was in it. I really enjoyed it. The concept was great, everything about it. And then the ending, absolutely not. No, it was so aggravating how bad it was. Let me look up my Goodreads review of what I said about The Grace Year. Okay, here's what I've got. 1 star. I said, this book actually made me so mad because it was an amazing idea for a plot. It had killer cover art, a good beginning, and the feeling of hope that only comes when you think you're reading the next dystopian novel of the ages. But in the blink of an eye, or rather, the reading of a word, it was all gone. Poof, just like that. With such a stupid ending that had me sitting there wondering how in the world an editor let this go to print. Every single opportunity for greatness in this novel was missed, and I'm actually still upset about it years later. You know what? I stand by that. I do. I mean, here I am talking about it. It wasn't even a book that I read in my youth, which was the topic we were on, and I got so sidetracked by seeing that picture of that cover being grouped in with some of these other really great dystopian novels. No, get The Grace Year out of here. And it's not a trilogy, it's just a single book. Do not read it. I also read Ender's Game. That's going to be a no, but I did like the movie. I liked the movie because I liked the main guy in it. It was kind of stupid, but, I enjoyed it at the time when I watched it. I think I've seen it a couple times since. I don't think I'm going to watch it of my own volition in any near future moment, but I remember liking it well enough. Whew, okay. Getting back to Uglies really quick, where we started off on this little tangent. It wasn't terrible. It was somewhat entertaining. I got an hour and a half in. Whenever it's the big moment where their camp is raided, sorry if that spoils something, but I really don't think this one's gonna be one that people are like, oh, don't spoil it. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a series, and a lot of you read it anyways. Okay, so they raid the camp, and from that moment on, there was still, I think, like 38 minutes left in the movie or something like that. I went to 1.5 speed from that moment on to finish out the rest of the movie. It was just too slow. None of it was really doing much for me. I felt like, from what I remembered of the book, it was fairly accurate. I do think the casting was pretty good. Again, I don't hate Joey King, so I didn't have an issue with her being the main lead in this. And the guy who plays Paris, although I don't like him in Outer Banks, I did think he made a good pretty person. But the filter that they put on these pretty people was so stupid. I was having this conversation with a couple friends the other night, and one of them said it just looked like they put a TikTok filter on the pretty people faces instead of them being these like abnormally pretty looking humans. It just looked like they had a filter on them, and that's exactly what it was. Now, I do think that there are some deeper meanings to Uglies that we could pick out and talk about as a society of how much we focus on looks and blah blah blah, but you know what? It wasn't that deep. It really wasn't. And I wish that it kind of would have gone that route, because I think it would have been more relatable to the audience in which they're presenting it to right now. I think it was unfortunate that they were presenting it to this audience that is now older, right? Like my generation that read that book when it was super, super popular, we're all now in our later 20s, early 30s, and it just doesn't hit the same. You know, either you have to make it more relatable to these people of this age. I don't know, are people still reading Uglies? Maybe they are. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the teenagers of today were like, that movie was so sick. But I just don't think they are, especially with social media and them having grown up with other types of movies and the technology and stuff that we've seen in movies and CGI. I just can't imagine a teenager today being like, I loved that movie. You know what I mean? It was about 10 years behind where it should have been, and I think it should have been released far before social media was really a thing, because I think it would have been far more successful. It's a waste of your time, if I'm being just so honest. Don't watch it. Even if you really liked the Ugly series, I don't think it's worth watching, because it just wasn't that great. It was subpar acting. It was a very surface level plot. It was a very unbelievable love triangle and love story. I didn't believe it for 1 second. There was zero chemistry to me between the main leads that are supposed to be in love. Everything felt almost too fast paced, but at the same time so slow. And it's amazing how they managed both of those things at once, but they did. I felt like we were just dragging on, but yet the plot points they were hitting were just way too skimmed over. So overall, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 for my personal rating and a 5 for the public. You know, I just always think that people tend to judge it a little less harshly than me, and I think most people won't hate it. It wasn't great, but I don't think they're going to have super, super strong feelings, even though the internet is making it seem like a lot of people do. It was just because it was stupid, but it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen way worse movies recently than Uglies. Direction-wise, acting-wise, filter-wise, I've seen way worse. But that didn't mean it was good. Last up, we have 2 movies. The first one is Because I Said So, with Mandy Moore, Diane Keaton, Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls, who plays Lorelai, and Piper Perabo. She's from Covert Affairs, if you ever watched that. This movie sucked. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was so dumb. The plot was all over the place. There were so many unnecessary scenes. It just, no, it didn't even have like an old time nostalgia that I could draw from, because it was made in 2007 and it felt like it was made in 2007. The ethics of it, the plot, it was so dumb. No, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 on my scale. You know what? Maybe even 2 out of 10. I really did not like this movie. 2.5. You know what? We'll settle in the middle. And then public, we're going to go 4 out of 10. Just don't watch it, okay? Because I said so. Okay, last one. Molly's Game. This is on Netflix, and holy crap, I really enjoyed this movie. Wait for it. You know what's coming. That means you're probably not gonna like it. Alright, this is going in the same camp as Queen Pins, Buffaloed. I might even put I, Tonya in the same boat, except I think I, Tonya is much more entertaining. It's not quite as slow, but those are all in the same genre. Maybe even Not Okay, I would put in this genre, where it's telling the story of a person, and in this case, it is a true story. It's the story of Molly Bloom, who was a famous Olympic skier, and she ended up running a high-stakes international poker game. She was caught by the FBI, and then she was accused of bringing together this Russian mafia and being involved in that. It was this crazy story, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, there was a lot of poker terms in it, and I was watching it, nodding along like I knew what was going on. I had no idea what she was talking about. I mean, they even kind of draw it out for you on the screen, what the different sets are. I've played poker twice in my life, and I still don't get it. I still don't understand the rules. I'm gonna need someone to dumb that crap down for me, okay? That is not my game. I'm a Monopoly girl. You get me with a Monopoly board, yeah, I'm ready to be here for 3 to 4 hours. Poker, though? Not really. Not my style. I don't think I'm that good of a liar. I also just don't think I'm that strategic in that way with the cards. So, poker's not my game, but boy oh boy was it Molly's. And this was just so fascinating that it was a true story and it was based off of her book that she wrote. And now I kind of want to read the book, although I did look up last night when I finished the movie how accurate the book was to the movie, and it was quite accurate. So I was like, maybe unnecessary to read the book. But she does name drop real celebrities that were at these poker games. Names like Ben Affleck, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Tobey Maguire. And what was sad is actually Tobey Maguire, from what I read about the book, was not a good guy. And anyways, I just found that really fascinating. It was kind of sad. I was like, no, Tobey Maguire, the original Spider-Man. But anyways, it is not a movie for everybody. I mean, I got halfway through that movie and thought I had been watching it for 3 hours. And there was still like an hour and a half left. I mean, this movie felt eternal. But it was interesting, and I am willing to sit down and watch something like that and really be there for the storyline. I enjoy that type of storytelling, but it is not for everybody. I think most people would fall asleep watching this movie, to be honest, and I think the other half would just not really care to finish. So for those reasons, The Public, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I just do not think this movie is gonna be for the public. I think it's gonna be for 30%, and that's about it. On my own personal scale, just for storyline, I actually am gonna give it a 7.5. I really liked it. I found it extremely enjoyable, and I would be willing to watch it again, but not in any near future. It's kind of like the movie Avatar, the blue people Avatar one. Yeah, I'm watching that every 2 to 3 years is when I'm willing to sit down for that and experience that entire movie. I think Molly's Game is gonna go in a similar boat. Like, this is gonna be a rare watch, but when I watch it again, which I'm sure I will because I rated it above a 7, I need to watch it with someone who's never seen it and who is fully wanting to watch that type of movie. Because I'm not wanting to watch a movie with someone that's just gonna fall asleep. You know, that's not really my vibe. So overall, Molly's Game, I loved it. You probably won't. And now we are going to move on to our main topic today. All right, you know what time it is? It is time to go through the notes section on my phone and see all of my latest thoughts. Up first, we have the Gold Over America tour. I went and saw that with my friends, and it was amazing. 10 out of 10 experience. Absolutely loved it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it was the Simone Biles Gymnastics Olympian Tour. Yeah, I bet you're sad you missed it. It was great. What it was a performance. So they had choreography and different songs, and they would do tumbling passes and then different things on the beam and the bars and the parallel bars and all of that stuff. And I was here for all of it. It was such a well-made show. And of course, we had the GOAT herself, Simone freaking Biles, and the whole show was like centered around her, as it should be, in my opinion. And it was phenomenal. I loved it. I have a little bit of commentary on the entire experience. Something you may not know about me is I am actually super obsessed with gymnastics. I, once upon a very long time ago, was a gymnast. And I also coached gymnastics as well for a good 2 years. And it was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. I taught the 2 to 3 year old mommy and me classes all the way up to the 16-year-old competition age. So I coached a lot of different ages. My favorite to coach were the teenagers. I just love teenagers. I think they're awesome. But I also coached a lot of 8 and 9-year-olds, which I really enjoyed as well. Anything younger than that, not really my forte, not my jam. I don't really like the under 8s. Once they get to like 10 or 11, they can be a little too sassy for my taste. So I really like the 8 and 9, and then jump up to like the 15 to 17, 18-year-old age range. That's my favorite. And that's in gymnastics and in life. Ultimately, I love the teenagers. They're so fun. I find them very entertaining, and I'd be in a room with them all day. As we have discussed previously, when I talked about who I would want to plane crash with, yeah, give me those teens. I mean, I've always felt like I wanted to be a teacher, an educator in some capacity. I've always felt that, even from a very young age. In first grade, when I was dressing up as a teacher for Halloween, I mean, come on. But I do remember when I was coaching, thinking to myself that I loved doing that. I loved being able to have an impact on these young kids' lives, being able to say something and see them make improvement because they applied what I said, and having them work hard and being able to be that person right there to validate and just be like, yes, you did it. Like, look at you. Look what you're capable of. Just boosting them up and having them believe in themselves. I think it is the most magical feeling on earth. I get so much fulfillment from helping people see their own potential. And it was just such a special time to be able to do that with gymnastics. My bestie Nicole, you all know about her. One day I'm going to get her on this pod. I will. You'll get to hear about my childhood friend who I've known for the last 27 years of my life. Anyways, she knows me so well, and one year for my birthday, she got me U of U gymnastics tickets, which, if you know anything about gymnastics in Utah County, or even just the state of Utah, U of U is the best. U of U is really a top contender in Pac-12 with Oklahoma, and you also have Arizona that's on that list, and then UCLA, of course, with some past Olympians. U of U has past Olympians. Just an awesome team. I mean, I grew up in a bedroom where I had posters of Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin and the Fabulous Seven. Like those were the posters that were hanging in my room. I love this sport. So, getting to go to the Gold Over America tour was so stinking fun, and here was what I wrote on my phone. There was a choreographed number with the song Love Story by Taylor Swift, and you had professional dancers and then all of the male gymnasts that were a part of this tour. They came out in these white tank top shirts and jeans, and they were dancing with these professional dancers, and then they would, hop on the parallel bars and do something amazing, and then hop on the high bar and do something amazing. Like, it was so hot. It was so hot. Seeing them dance with these dancers and then go on to their apparatus and just do something incredible effortlessly in jeans. And then they came onto the floor and tumbled in jeans and this tank top. I don't know. It was really doing something for me, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. That was my favorite part of the show, and that was what I wrote down. Is I was like, I never want to forget how hot it was with these gymnasts doing the things that they were doing in jeans. So there you go. There was my overall thoughts. It was a great time, and I recommend it if it ever comes back in the future. My next note says, remember when people dressing up as clowns in parks was a thing? Do you guys remember that? I remember being so scared. Driving in high school past a park and seeing someone dressed up as a clown. What was that? It feels like a fever dream. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Okay, online says 2016 clown sightings. In August of 2016, people began reporting seeing people dressed as evil clowns in unusual places, such as near schools and forests. They were first reported in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it was actually a marketing stunt for a horror film. Oh, what? The sighting spread to other countries and cities, and there was speculation that it was a PR stunt for the movie It. I did not know it was a PR stunt. I just remember being scared one time driving in my very suburban area, and I passed by a park and there was a clown, and I was terrified. Oh man, that was so scary. Okay, well, moving on. I don't know what made me think of that, but it's in my phone, so there you go. Oh my goodness, you guys. Did you know that you can buy bags of popcorn from Cinemark? And these are huge. They're like 4 to 5 big tubs full of popcorn, but in this one singular bag. I'll post a picture on the Insta. My friend Nikki, who you guys know, she brought it to me the other day. And she was like, hey, I got this for you because you love movie theater popcorn. Ugh, she's the greatest friend ever, is she not? And turns out this bag that you can buy is like $13, whereas just one tub of popcorn to go see a movie at Cinemark is like $15.75 or something. Like, this bag that contains 4 times the amount of popcorn is cheaper. Oh my gosh. It was so exciting to learn this. It was delicious, by the way. Loved it. Ate a ton of it. Also shared it with a lot of people because that was way too much popcorn for a single person. But yeah, there's a deal of the week. Go check out Cinemark popcorn the next time you're having a group movie night. $13. And it was absolutely delicious. Speaking of popcorn, I went to go refill my Megaplex tub and I wanted a lid to go with it. And I remember distinctly that the lids at one point were 50 cents, which is why I was going to buy one. I was like, okay, yeah, 50 cents. So anyways, I go to the counter. I ask him to, refill my popcorn because I'm just going to take it home. I literally just go to the theater to get popcorn. I'm not even going to see a movie. I just stop by, grab my bowl, and then I'm on my way. Well, anyways, I ask for a lid, and I swipe my credit card. And as I swipe my credit card, I realize what the price is. It is $5.36 for that lid. I would have never bought it had I known, but I was, I was thinking it was 50 cents, so why would I need to look at what the price is? I literally look up to the worker, and I was like, whoa, what did you charge me for? He says, I charged you for a lid. I was like, lids are $5 now? And he goes, yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy. And then he gives me the flimsiest little piece of plastic to put over my popcorn. And I was like, I can't believe I paid over $5 for this. That is unreal. If anybody wants just a demonstration of inflation, look no further than Megaplex tub lids. Oh my Lanta. You can bet everything you own that I rinsed that out and I was like, well, looks like I'm keeping you forever because you were way too expensive for me to just use once and then throw away. Yeah, just crazy, right? Okay, this one's wild. I found out that Stephenie Meyers, the author of the Twilight series, her mother-in-law is named Victoria. You know, Victoria, the character in her book that's super evil and gets an entire vampire army of new bloods or whatever to go after Bella. This evil person. That is the name of her mother-in-law. But get this, it gets worse. Her brother, Stephenie Meyers' brother's name is Jacob. Yeah, take that in. I'm sorry, what? What now? The imprinter himself? That's your brother? Oh my gosh. I was unwell after hearing that. No. Rest assured, when I write a book one day, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. I probably won't, but maybe I will. I could see myself writing a book. I could. Even if it's like an auto pic of myself, I might change names. Just to keep the privacy for my family and my friends. I don't know. But I will most definitely not be writing some sort of fictional piece and using the name of my real life siblings as a love interest? Ew. No. Get that out of here, Stephenie. No, I didn't think it could get any weirder, but it did. Oh gosh, that was some news to learn about. I wish I never learned that, but here I am sharing it with you so we can all suffer together. So I went to Zupas this last week. Love me some Zupas. It always reminds me of my friend Maddie who passed away because she worked at Zupas. Sometimes I'll go just by myself, which is what I did last week, and I like to say that I'm having lunch with her. So I'll just go eat and think of her, and it's really cute and fun. Okay, moving on. So I went to Zupas this last week to do that, and they have these new bowls. It's basically like a Chipotle bowl, all right? It's in the ramekin thing. It's the same deal. But you apparently can only make a bowl now. You can't make your own salad. So I was really confused because I get up to the counter and I was like, I'd like to make my own salad, please. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that anymore because we have the bowls. But I was like, no, I don't want a bowl because I want a half soup, half salad. He was like, okay, then you're going to have to choose a salad that's one of our options on the menu. But then he says, I can change anything I want about the salad. So I was like, wait, you want me to choose that salad right there? So I'm going to pick this, like, I don't know, avocado, berry, whatever salad. But I don't want any avocado. I want all the berries taken off. I'd like to just have the lettuce and then pick my own toppings. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Sir, that's a make my own salad. That's what I was planning on doing here today. Like, why did we have to do this, like, little weird gymnastics thing of, like, no, you can't, you have to eat the bowl, but you can order a salad and not, like, what? What was that? That felt unnecessary. I did feel bad for the guy because you could see that he thought it was stupid. Like, I'm sitting there being like, are we both agreeing in this moment that this is the dumbest thing we've ever heard? And I could tell that we were on the same page with that. But this man was getting paid to tell me something that he didn't want to say, but he was forced to, so I understood. But ultimately, what ended up happening was I ordered a salad, and then I asked to not have anything that was on the salad be put on it, and instead I chose exactly what I wanted to go on the toppings, and they still called it I don't know, I think it was like a chicken Caesar salad or something. I was like, yeah, no, cut the chicken. I don't want no Caesar dressing. I want ranch. I want a bucket of olives. I want some American cheese, some croutons, some sunflower seeds, and more black olives, please, because they never put enough. Subway and my salads, I need just maximum amount of black olives. Anyways, it goes up to the counter and they're like, so you got the chicken Caesar salad? Like, babe, we're both looking at the same salad. Does that look like a chicken Caesar salad to you? No, I made my own salad, but of course I'm happy to pay the overpriced chicken Caesar price because now you guys have the bowls, so I can't just pay for a salad with 7 toppings. I don't know. Oh man, it was so freaking stupid. It was so stupid. But what's the dumbest thing to me is I would actually get a bowl, but you can't do a bowl with a half soup or a half sandwich, which is the whole point of really going to Zupas. You're going to get a half and half. A half a soup or a half a sandwich and a half a salad. It's delicious. No, now I gotta make this choice of like a Chipotle salad bowl situation thing or a full soup. Like, it makes no sense. Also, the lineup of Zupas makes absolutely no sense either. My dad hates Zupas. Absolutely hates it. Will try everything to avoid going. If all of us vote against him, then he's like, okay, fine, we can go eat at Zupas. But it drives him nuts the way that you order and then you go down the line and you have to retell every worker your order only to get to the cash register, and then you have to also retell your order and then like point out which food is yours. I don't know, for whatever reason that really irks my dad. The inefficiency of it all, I guess. I don't know of a better way. I have dealt with him not liking it for years and have thought to myself, is there another way? I've never come up with one, so... And I think that they must have found themselves in that same situation where it's like, well, it is what it is. But I do think that we should be rethinking about this whole bowl idea because I'm not loving how that's working out. It was just so stupid. So just know if you're going to go to Zupas in the near future that you're going to be confronted with the new menu item and some weird backwards way for you to order a make your own salad. Just fair warning there, ladies. Next, I have a question for us all. What's our consensus about washing fruit? Is it actually doing anything? I mean, I rinsed my apple for about 2 seconds and I felt like that was 2 seconds of my time gone, wasted. What did that do for me? Did that really wash off anything? Am I supposed to be using soap? I mean, I grew up with parents that washed our grapes with dish soap, but also, am I now just ingesting dish soap? I mean, it's rinsed off. But is that worse or better than some chemicals or pesticides? Are they even on there? Is the water doing anything, is my question. Are we washing fruit, or are we now in 2024 saying, you know what, let's all quit pretending. Let's just not do it and face the consequences. I'd love your thoughts on it. Please let me know. Send me a DM or comment on the Instagram. I know y'all are so shy about the Instagram. At least that's the vibe I'm getting, because none of you seem to want to comment. But, if you have something to say, please put it on there. Or if you'd rather just private message me, that seems to be everyone's preferred route, which I'm all here for, not a problem. Happy to read through all of the DMs. But, if you'd like to put it publicly, what you're doing with your fruit, I think we'd all love to hear it. I think I'm gonna stop, honestly. At this point, it's just getting annoying that my fruit is now wet. I gotta dry it off just to eat it. How bad can it really be? All right, last thing that I would like to talk about, the two things that are not movie-based that I am obsessed with right now. I just thought I'd get it all on your radar. First up, we have Emma Neeson. I think that's how you say her name. She is a Christian jazz artist, and I absolutely love her. Usually, I listen to church music, worship music, whatever you want to call it, on Sundays. That's my Sunday thing. It makes that day feel different to me. I also really enjoy that music. But on the day-to-day, I'm not turning on a Jesus worshiping song. That's just not what I tend to do, okay? But Emma Neeson dropped her Love Like You album, and I have been listening to it non-stop. Every day of the week, every hour of my day. I can't get enough. It is such good music. And the fact that it's this jazz song, okay, let me just tell you my favorites, okay? If you're gonna go listen to it, here's what you need to listen to. Number 1, the single itself, Love Like You. Absolutely fantastic. Then, Gotta Have Faith. Oh, I love that one. Next, we have Flesh and Bone. That one's phenomenal. And then my other favorites that are a little bit slower are Light. It literally sounds like a sunrise. I don't know how she did it, but that music sounds like a sunrise. We also have Hear Him. Oh, that one makes me emotional. And then Hold On. Oh, those three. I mean, the entire album is phenomenal. But those songs, if you want the peppy ones, go with my first recommendations. If you like something a little bit slower and deeper, those last three that I mentioned, they're just so good. They have been filling my soul, and it doesn't feel like church music. It really doesn't. And I really like her vibe. I have now since followed her on Instagram, and I'm obsessed. And I will be DMing her and asking if she wants to come on the pod, because I think that would be so fun. I did not know of her a month ago, and now I want to know everything about her. I love her music. She also speaks Swedish. I think she went to Sweden on her mission, from what I have deducted. I think that's what's happened. And anyways, she just seems like an awesome human, and I think everybody should be supporting her. So go listen to her music, Love Like You. Such a good song. Just an incredible album. Yes, so go support her. And last up, we have my newest podcast listen. It only has 4 episodes, so fair warning on that. It's literally just started. But I binged the first 3, and then the 4th one came out, and it's been so good. It's called The Soloists, and it has Mallory Everton. If you know her from Studio C, she was the blonde with the curly hair. Anyways, it has her and then this other girl. Shoot, I forget her name. So sorry. But they both are awesome. So fun to listen to. But it's about being single and in your mid-30s as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And just having an honest, open conversation about what that's like. And I just feel like it speaks to my soul. I am not in my mid-30s, but I am in my late 20s. And I don't know, I just feel like it's very relatable. The cultural aspects that they're talking about and the struggles that this particular group of people have. And they also don't just sit around and complain. They talk about some solutions. And even in their first episode, when they talked about what singles boards could be and having them be these nonprofits and doing service projects and stuff, I thought that was one of the best ideas I've ever heard. Absolutely. I love the conversations that they're having. Go listen to The Soloists. It's on the Faith Matters channel. It's so good, and I honestly think it is worth your time. Speaking of your time, thank you so much for spending an hour of it with me. That was so nice of you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. Get some new watches on that watch list. Go watch Nobody Wants This. guys, we need to talk about it. Go get some popcorn from the Cinemark and just have a fabulous week, you guys, okay? And rate and review my podcasts. Put that on the to-dos. If you've listened right now and you have not yet given me a rating, please do. Please do that. Please. I'm begging you. Just scroll and give me some stars, please. All right, I'll stop begging. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki.